What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the podcast, Talk with Views, episode 143, the Wednesday news. And on today's episode, we're going to talk about the Utah Hockey Club's new name, plus MLB's got new uniforms that we're going to take a look at, and we got some big coaching moves in the NFL. But first, let's head into Trade Center. So we'll start off this one on Trade Center. Yes, new segment. It's going to be talking about NHL and NBA trades from the past week and a half, 2 weeks or so. So some of this stuff is a little bit old news. You guys probably already heard about some of this. Some of this stuff I just really would like to get my own thoughts and feelings about. So we'll start off with the biggest news, the NBA three-team trade between Dallas, LA, and Utah. Dallas acquiring Anthony Davis, Max Christie, and a 2029 first-round pick. And to the Lakers, it's going to be Luka Doncic, Maxi Kleber, and Markieff Morris. Utah gets Jalen Hood-Schifino and two 2025 second-round picks. Big trade, probably the biggest trade we've ever seen in NBA history. Definitely one of the biggest trades I've seen in the four teams, or in the four big-name leagues in America. I think probably the most comparable one might be the Wayne Gretzky trade back in, around 90, I guess, with the LA Kings and Edmonton Oilers. I mean, that might be the most comparable trade compared to this. But Anthony Davis going to Dallas, hearing a lot of things that actually makes Dallas good right now, a lot better. They have a chance to win a championship right now with Anthony Davis on their squad. But for the long terms, LA definitely won this trade. Luka going over to LA pretty much shows that once LeBron's done with Los Angeles, Luka's going to be the next guy up. He's going to be the guy front and center for the Lakers for a long time. And Utah just helping out with this one, getting a player and a couple picks here. So very surprising trade. Not sure exactly how I felt about it. I felt excited being a Laker fan and seeing Luka come over, but there's a lot of stuff that we really do not know too much about, and why Luka did get traded and why it was only for this. I mean, I think Dallas could have gotten a lot more for him. But in the long terms, Anthony Davis makes that team pretty good and well off for Dallas, but can they win a championship right now? That's going to be the biggest question. For the Lakers, long term, definitely going to win this trade. Luka looks really good in his tenure in Dallas. If there was a falling out between that and management, I'm not too sure. Seems like that is the case. But I think he's going to change it around, and him in LA is going to be match made in heaven in my eyes. Next up, we got another three-way trade. San Antonio, Sacramento, and Chicago. Sacramento gets Zach LaVine, City Sissoko of 2025 first-round pick, a 2027 first-round pick, a 2031 first-round pick, and also 3 second-round picks from 2025 and 2 from 2028. Chicago gets Zach Collins and Trey Jones, and San Antonio gets the biggest thing out of this, De'Aaron Fox and Jordan McLaughlin. Fox has been traded to San Antonio. He expressed that openly, but he wasn't demanding a trade out. Seems like that's going to be the best spot for him. Honestly, it was either there or maybe even Houston. Houston seemed like they were kind of going with their young guns and okay not having Fox be in there. Personally, I'm okay with that. I think Houston keeping the young guns around, seeing what they could do, grow with them together. For Fox going to San Antonio, that's definitely going to help that team a lot. Sacramento, I think in the long terms, might actually win this trade. Zach LaVine's a really good player. I think he's going to help out that team right now. But 3 first-round picks and 3 second-round picks for a number of years, I think that's going to be a great pickup in the long terms. So Sacramento may end up winning this trade down the line. But as of right now, De'Aaron Fox, San Antonio, big trade, big win there for that team. Now let's head to the NHL, where we got another 3-team trade. We'll start off with the Carolina, Chicago, Colorado trade, where it sent Mikko Rantanen and 50% of his contract to Carolina, along with Taylor Hall. The Chicago Blackhawks got 50% of Mikko's contract, plus a 2025 third-round pick, and Colorado got Martin Necas, Jack Drury, a 2025 second-round pick, and a 2026 fourth-round pick. Mikko going to Carolina, very surprising. Will this be a rental? Some people are saying yes. I personally do not think that is. I think Carolina's going to find a way to sign him. It's going to be a very big contract. It's going to be around the $13-14 million mark. But it sounds like Mikko was very surprised about this. He even was willing to take less than market value of his contract that he was probably going to be offered when it came to free agency to stay in Colorado. So that is very surprising to see Colorado move away from him. It's probably just all comes down to money, but he's a 100-point player. He's a great forward. He plays great with McKinnon and Makar. I just very surprised to see that happen. Taylor Hall moving to Carolina. I don't think it's going to be that much of a big deal there. Chicago taking 50% of that and getting their own third-round pick back in exchange for that. Just kind of whatever. I mean, they probably just need him in this trade just to take that contract for Carolina's sake. And for Colorado, Mark Necas and Jack Drury, good players. Necas has actually started off really well with his tenure in Colorado. Gained a second and a fourth. It just seems like they could have gotten maybe a little bit more, but I think Necas and Drury are going to be pretty solid players down the line. It's just going to take some time, and it's going to be a tough transition not having Mikko in this lineup for Colorado. But Carolina, if they do not sign him in the offseason, it's going to be a waste of a trade. It's going to be a really bad rental in my eyes because Colorado is definitely going to keep Necas and Drury around for a while. And next we'll head to Calgary and Philadelphia, where Calgary picked up Joel Farabee and Morgan Frost in exchange for Andrei Kuzmenko, Jacob Pelletier, a 2025 second-round pick, and a 2028 seventh-round pick. For Calgary, picking up these two guys, these are guys that are going to be ready now. They're going to help out the team very much. Calgary is a team that not a lot of people expected them to be this good. They're just sitting around the wild card spot right now. I think they're going to be able to make playoffs if they keep up this run. And I think these two, Farabee and Frost, are going to help that team a lot. Losing Kuzmenko could be a tough one. He's a good locker room guy, gets that team riled up, but him being Russian and maybe helping out Michkov, who's also in Philadelphia, rookie right now, could help out Michkov a lot. So we'll see how that friendship, if that is going to be a friendship, blossoms or falls. But I think Calgary definitely won this trade. They're looking to try and win right now with this squad, especially having a very good season right now. Yeah, then we have Vancouver and Pittsburgh. Vancouver picks up Marcus Pettersson and Drew O'Connor in exchange for Dan Heinen, Vincent Desharnais, Melvin Fernstrom, and a conditional 2025 first-round pick from the New York Rangers. This is a top 13 protected. It will go to 2026 regardless if that pick is a top 13 pick. Vancouver needed a big defenseman like this. Pettersson is one of those players that I think is going to help out that D-core for Vancouver. Good offensive-minded defender right there. Dan Heinen going back to Pittsburgh. Not very big surprise there. He's been there before. Desharnais pretty solid. He's been very quiet this year, but had a very good year last year in Edmonton. Maybe he's able to spark that Edmonton run with his new team, Pittsburgh. And getting that first-round pick could help. With that being a Ranger pick, I do not expect the Ranger pick to be very high, so it could be going to a 2026 round pick, which who knows, maybe it does, maybe it doesn't, but I still feel like New York is going to either miss the playoffs barely or get into it, so I don't really think it's going to be a great pick in the long term. But Marcus Pettersson coming over to Vancouver, very good. And they also made another trade too with the Rangers. Vancouver acquired Philip Hedl, Victor Mancini, a conditional first round pick in 2025. Another top 13 protected will go back to 2026 in exchange for JT Miller, Eric Brandstrom, and Jackson Dorrington. JT Miller was quote unquote the problem in Vancouver with Elias Pettersson, but it sounds like Elias Pettersson's also being shopped right now, and if that is the case, losing Miller and Pettersson in the same season is not a good look for Vancouver. At that point, might as well just keep JT Miller, right? Because I think JT Miller, as of right now, is a better player. Yes, I think they're about 4-year difference. JT is older than Pettersson, so that could come back to haunt them if they were to keep Miller and lose Pettersson, but they're looking at Pettersson as potentially the guy, and he got his wish. The Miller needed to get out of there for him to blossom. Looks like that is going to be the case. So will JT Miller leaving the Vancouver help out this locker room? I'm not sure. Philip Hedl, a lot of injury problems, but he could help out this team a lot. But JT Miller going to the Rangers, I think it's a great pickup. He used to play there. He's familiar with the franchise. I think this is going to be a win for the Rangers in the long term. So a really big pickup there for them. And last trade, we got Dallas and San Jose. Dallas acquiring Mikael Granlund and Cody Ceci in exchange for a 2025 first-round pick and a conditional 2025 fourth-round pick from Winnipeg. It will upgrade to Dallas's third-round pick if Dallas makes the Stanley Cup Finals. Granlund and Ceci, pretty much the best two veteran guys on that San Jose squad. Granlund, one of the top scorers on that San Jose team. Cody Ceci, nothing too special with him, but he's a good depth defenseman, I think, for that Dallas team, especially with all the injuries that Dallas has right now. These two are definitely going to be sliding into that spot perfectly. So I think Dallas is definitely going to help out a good playoff run with these two in the lineup. So big win for Dallas here. And for San Jose, getting another first-round pick. It's probably going to be a low one based off of how I think Dallas is going to face this year. But if they do make a long run, getting that first and a third could really be a big difference maker there. So I think overall, pretty good trade for both teams. San Jose is not going to do anything. So I think having those picks, getting those young guns up through the works is definitely going to help out the Sharks here. All right, let's head to the NHL. We'll start off with Marc-Andre Fleury. He became the first goalie to record a shutout as a teenager and a 40-year-old or older goaltender after a 19-save shutout versus Montreal. Sounds like this year will be Fleury's last year in the league and his last stop in Montreal, where he is from, the area in general. He made a huge statement with a 19-save shutout. After a very classy move, Montreal shook his hand after the case. But Marc-Andre Fleury, one of the best goalies we've ever seen. He's definitely going to be a Hall of Famer, and put this in the record books next to his name. A very big accomplishment there. So congrats, Marc-Andre Fleury. And the other record, we got a 900th win achieved for a head coach. This is Paul Maurice. He becomes the fourth head coach to do so, behind Scotty Bowman, who has 1,244, Joel Quenneville, who's got 969, and Barry Trotz, who's got 914. Personally, I think he's going to be second on that list. I could see Paul Maurice beating Barry Trotz very soon, and Joel Quenneville, give him maybe a season and a half on top of what he's already played coached this year, and I think he'll beat Quenneville as long as Quenneville does not come back to the league. But if Quenneville does, I think it's going to be a little bit more difficult to beat him. But Scotty Bowman, 1,244 wins. I don't think that's going to get touched anytime soon. But regardless, 900 wins. You've been around a long time. Congrats to you, Paul Maurice. Huge milestone there for you. We got a few signings. The Rangers have signed Tony DeAngelo to a one-year $775K contract for the rest of the season. He was playing in the KHL this last year. Looked really good by the sounds of it. Obviously, don't know much about the KHL, but it looked like DeAngelo was doing pretty well, has been playing to that normal Tony DeAngelo self. So maybe he helps out this Islander team who's kind of on the cusp of playoffs or not playoffs. So maybe he helps them become a playoff team there. Washington extend Logan Thompson to 6 years, $5.85 million AAV. Thompson, outstanding year. I think this could be the goalie of the future for the Capitals, especially with how good the Capitals have been this year. Having Thompson there next year and for years to come could be a big factor there. So really like that contract. St. Louis ended up waiving and releasing Brandon Saad from his contract. And then what he was signed not too long after by Vegas for 1 year, $1.5 million. Of course, Vegas picks up another veteran guy. I think Saad might help out the team, but personally, I don't think it's going to be that much of an impact there. I think they got other guys on that team that is going to be more of an impact than Brandon Saad, but only time will tell. And Seattle did put Philip Grubauer on waivers. He did go unclaimed, so the intention is to have him be sent down to Coachella Valley Firebirds for the minor league team for Seattle. Minnesota's Ryan Hartman was suspended 10 games for a dangerous play against Ottawa's Tim Stützle. This was off a face-off. He used pretty much his head to get up off the ground. A very dangerous play. NHL Department of Player Safety had this to say: it is important to note that this is not a hockey play. Hartman contended that he is attempting to use his hand to regain his balance using Stützle for support, and for their fall to be to the ice is accidental. Period. We disagree. That is all they said about that. I do not like the play. I think Hartman did it on purpose as well. 10 games. He's a reoccurring guy for suspension, so I'm not surprised there. So I think it might be a little strong, but it is a very dangerous play in my eyes as well. So 10 games for Ryan Hartman. Some injury news. Columbus Blue Jackets forward Sean Monahan will miss 6 to 8 weeks with a wrist injury. And they also announced that Kirill Marichenko will also miss 6 to 8 weeks with a broken jaw. So that's two big names that are going to be missing out on that awesome Stadium Series game that I cannot wait for. So that's tough news for the Columbus Blue Jackets there. Dallas, Niels Lundqvist underwent season-ending surgery on his shoulder, and then they also announced that Tyler Seguin will be placed on LTIR after his hip surgery, and Miro Heiskanen will be out month to month after ongoing knee surgery. So that trade for Cody Ceci helps a lot with having Miro out for a long time here. Tyler Seguin being out, Granlund goes right in there. Lundqvist being out as well for the rest of the year. You're hoping that Lundqvist or that Seguin and Miro get back in the lineup, so it helps out that depth there. But definitely tough news for Dallas Stars, who seem to be rolling, but these injuries could come back to haunt them. Vegas Golden Knights, Alex Pietrangelo will be out for the Four Nations due to just staying healthy. He wants to stay healthy, get back to his form for the rest of the season. So there will be a spot open for Team Canada looking for a defenseman there. Rickard Rakell of the Pittsburgh Penguins will replace Vegas Golden Knights William Karlsson on Team Sweden due to injury. So another Vegas Golden Knight not making that Four Nation roster anymore. The Russian and Belarus teams will not be able to participate in international hockey play for the upcoming 2025-26 seasons. They also announced that the International Olympic Committee can choose a different outcome for those two nations. The likelihood is it will not change. So both the Olympics and anything IIHF related will not have Russia and Belarus in there. So that's tough news for the hockey community, because Russia being in these games, has some of the best players in the NHL. It's definitely tough to see. But political stuff, not going to get into it. That is the new news coming out of the IIHF and the Olympic Committee. And last thing to talk about, Utah has announced that they have narrowed down their names to 3 finalists. We had the Utah Hockey Club. They are announcing that they could potentially just change absolutely nothing besides getting a new logo. The next thing, the Utah Mammoth. Pretty self-explanatory, that big woolly mammoth, which is an elephant with fur, pretty much. And the last one, Outlaws, which personally, I do not like Outlaws at all. It feels very cheesy and corny, and a lot of teams have used it, whether that's fake teams on video games, that travel team used to play for or play against in elementary school. I just don't like the name Outlaws. It seems just kind of a cop-out. I personally like the Mammoth and Hockey Club name. At first, I did not like the name Hockey Club at all. I thought it was a good placeholder for this team this season, with all the not being able to get merchandising and things like that, and wanting to do it correctly. I'm okay with that. But with the Utah Hockey Club going forward, at first I was like, nope, don't want to see it. Right now, because Yeti cannot be the name because of trademark issues, I actually really do like Utah Hockey Club. Keeping it just Utah HC, Utah Hockey Club. You use the main logo as a Yeti, which right here I'm popping up a picture of the potential leaked images of the 3 logos for the 3 team names. Hockey Club being a mountain range with a Yeti face. Perfect. I think that logo looks so good. For the Mammoth, the head of a mammoth, I think that logo looks pretty solid. Outlaws, it looks okay, it looks fine, but yet again, just don't like it. It is my 3rd favorite of these 3. So as of right now, I actually do think Hockey Club is my favorite name. Mammoth at number 2, Outlaws at number 3. By the looks of it, they're going to keep the same colors, which I think we already said that earlier in the season, that they will keep these colors. But overall, not too bad of a look. I think Utah has a lot of potential here. It seems like they know the direction they want to go with, and it's only time will tell for what we think the new name will be for this team. All right, let's head to the MLB, where San Diego announced that they will be retiring the pink and mint City Connect jerseys after this season. So if you like those jerseys, sorry, those will be going away after this year. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of them. I think the colors are cool. It's different, but as a collector of hats and jerseys, this is one that I just would not put in my collection. It'd be hard to wear. So I'm okay with San Diego retiring it after this year. We got 2 new jerseys. We'll start off with the actual new one. The New York Mets released a new alternate row jersey, navy blue base with the script New York across the front in cursive. There is no buttons on this jersey on the front, and we have orange trace on the collar and the end of the sleeves. The main logo is on one of the sleeves. So overall, it is a two-tone jersey of blue and orange. And personally, do not like this because you go in with the two-tone jersey, you got the main logo on the arm, and the main logo has white in it. So it just seems like it just should not belong there. I would have preferred maybe the NY logo on the arm outlined in the orange like the front of the jersey, like the New York. But also looking at it again, it didn't catch my eye at first. But yeah, no buttons on the front of the uniform. I don't mind the idea of having no buttons. I just think for this uniform, it looks like a college uniform. And I think the two-tone jersey just wasn't done and executed well. I give it a 1.5 out of 10. I think there's elements that I like. I like the script on the front. I like the idea of the two-tone for this jersey, but having that logo on the arm really messes up the two-tone. Having no buttons on it makes it feel like a college jersey, and the college jersey in this look does not look good in my eyes. So overall, do not like this uniform at all. Will not be buying this thing at all. And then Washington announced that they are bringing back the red alternate jerseys to replace those City Connects with the gray and cherry blossoms that they had the last, I think, 3 or 4 years now with those City Connects. Those are one of the most loved uniforms, actually, when it comes to the community. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of them. I don't mind the look. It's nothing too special in my eyes. But these red ones look really nice. It's a red-based uniform with the big W logo on one side, the one that's normally seen on the front of the hat. And on the ends of the sleeves, we have a blue and white striping. Nothing too crazy. I mean, we've seen this uniform before. They're just bringing it back. What do I give it out of 10? 7.8 for me. I like it. It looks good. There's nothing too special about it, but overall, I don't mind it. I think it looks pretty good. I think it's a good replacement for that City Connect that a lot of people did love. All right, lastly, let's head to the new spring training hats for 2025, which, yes, spring training is right around the corner. It's crazy to think about that. But, man, we got some new hats. We got to rate these 1 out of 10. So let's start off with the top. Atlanta. It's a red-based hat with a navy blue bill and a blue A logo that's normal in their hats. I don't mind it. I think it looks good. I actually could see this as a normal hat for them. So for that being said, I actually really do like it. So I'll give it an 8.8 out of 10. I think it looks pretty solid. I could see it as a normal lineup, and I like it. The D-backs going back to the teal hat with their Diamondback head holding the baseball in front. It's all teal. It's a lot of teal. I'm not a huge fan of that teal, especially because they don't have a uniform to match that. So I give it a 4.1 out of 10. I like the creativity. It's just that's a lot of teal in my eyes. So I think it just misses the mark there. For the A's, it is a yellow hat with the Kelly Green A's logo on the front. That's it to it. Personally, not a fan of it. I like it less than the teal hat. I think the teal hat of the Diamondbacks is a little bit better. So I'm going to give this one a 2.2 out of 10. I think it's just ugly in my eyes. I would not consider buying that at all. For Baltimore, I actually really like this. I think the O's on the front looks really good on that orange crown and black bill. I think the colors contrast really well. Personally, I think the B would have looked a little bit better, but then you're getting into the territory of it looking like the Boston Red Sox one, which we're going to talk about in a second. But I like this a lot. I'm going to give it an 8.8 out of 10. I think it looks really good. I like the colors. I think if it had the B, I like it just a little bit better. Now we head to the Red Sox, a red crown, white B logo traced in navy with the navy bill. Pretty much exactly as the Braves hat, just flip-flopping the colors of the main logo. I think the Braves did it better. I don't think that white logo looks as good as if it was a blue logo. So for that being said, I'll give it a 6.7 out of 10. For the Cubs, they did this one last year. I loved it last year. I love it this year. I give it a 9.7 out of 10. It's a baby blue hat with the dark blue Cub logo on the front with the Cub bear itself and the navy brim. Love it. Would not change anything about it. Really good hat there. For Cincinnati, it's a hat that they normally wear. Red-based hat, red bill, white C on the front. It's exactly what they were on their normal field. For that being said, it's lazy in my eyes. It's a 0.5 out of 10. It looks fine. The hat's fine, but it's lazy. For Cleveland, they don't have much to choose from. They had the C logo and they had the G logo. They chose the G logo here on an all red hat. It looks okay. They don't have much to choose from. Give it a 4.8 out of 10. I think you could have maybe changed the colors up. I really liked how they used their Stadium Series colors, or City Connect, not Stadium Series, excuse me, City Connect hats. So they maybe could have incorporated that into this. I think the all red looks okay. The logo I'm not a huge fan of. That's pretty much what it comes down to. So that's why I gave it that rating. Colorado, all purple hat with the classic CR logo on the front. It just seems like it's something that they'd wear normally. I'll give it a 5.1 out of 10. Looking at it, it doesn't really hit me as hard as it initially did. I liked it better when I first saw it. Right now, it just looks kind of boring. White Sox hat. It's an all gray hat with the black Sox logo on the front. Nothing too great about this one. I don't like the light color for the White Sox, especially because they're probably going to be wearing a black based jersey. So this just, for me, doesn't hit well. I'll give it a 3.3 out of 10. Then we got Detroit. We got the Screaming Tiger or the Roaring Tiger on the front on an all orange based hat. It's a lot of orange, especially coming from the logo as well, being mostly orange. So it's a lot there. So I'll give it a 4.9 out of 10. I think it looks okay, but it's a lot of orange. I would have maybe liked it on a blue hat instead. Houston, we got a two-tone orange hat with a lighter orange on the crown and a darker orange on the brim with the H-star logo inside a circle. I really do not like this two-tone orange colors that they've done last couple of years, I think now. So I give it a 2.1 out of 10. I really just do not like the two tones there. Kansas City, light blue crown, dark blue bill, white KC. I think the KC gets lost just a little bit, but I really like the colors. It's exactly the same colors as the Cubs one, and I really like that one. But I think I like the Cubs one just a little bit better because you could see the logo a little bit. So a 9.1 out of 10. I think Kansas City still looks really good here. For the Angels, exactly what they wear on the normal field. Red-based hat, primary logo on the front. I think this is lazy, just like the Reds one. So I give it a 0.5 out of 10. It's lazy. Could have done a lot more with it, especially because they have so many logos in their history, and yet they always go back to their primary ones that they use now. What a waste. For the Dodgers, a dark blue hat with the white D logo on the front. I love this logo. I love this color hat. I think it looks great. I'll give it an 8.9 out of 10. I think we've seen it a couple times now, but overall, really like it. Miami, we got a teal base with the black bill with the classic logo that we see now, the M with the Marlin shooting out of it. I really like it. I think it looks good. I'm giving it a 9.3 out of 10. I think the colors look great. It's good contrast. Really good looking hat. Then we got the Milwaukee Brewers, yellow base hat, navy bill with the main logo that we see now. Personally, I'm not a fan of that logo. I'm not a fan of the yellow based hat either. I'll give it a 1.8 out of 10. I don't think it works at all for me. Minnesota, this is one that I see a lot of people really liking. It's a red-based hat with a navy blue bill, the M logo with the star on top of it. The M is in white, the star is in navy blue. I think it's a good contrast, and I like that the butt on the top is navy blue as well, so it kind of looks like that star as well. So I think it's a pretty solid hat. I mean, it's nothing too special. I wouldn't get it, but I think it's a pretty good looking hat. 8.1 out of 10 for me. The Mets. This one's a very fun hat. I think out of everybody, they did the most outrageous looking one, but it's awesome and I love it. It's the Mets Mr. Met logo on the front wearing glasses. I mean, this thing looks so cool. Blue bill, orange base hat. I think this is a 10 out of 10. I think this is absolutely perfect. I usually don't give out perfect scores when it comes to jerseys or hats or anything like that, but this hat looks so cool. It's so much fun. It's got character. I love it. I think the Mets hit it out of the park. It's a spring training hat. I mean, have some fun with these logos, these hat designs, and some teams did, but I think the Mets executed it perfectly. I love this hat. Yankees, we got a blue bill, the classic NY logo on the front, a white-based crown, but pinstripes as a navy blue. I understand where they're going for. It looks like they're normal home uniforms, but I just think the pinstripes on the hat just does not look good. That's on my end. So I'll give it a 3.5 out of 10. I think the idea's there. I just do not like pinstripes on the hats. Now, next we got Philly. This is a red-based hat with the Liberty Bell logo on the front in blue. Nothing too crazy here. Kind of boring in my eyes. I'll give it a 3.6 out of 10. It's just okay in my eyes. Pittsburgh really kind of missed the mark here. All black hat with the pirate face, crossbones, baseball bat logo on the front. There's zero yellow in this besides the new era logo on the side. That being said, I think they missed the execution there. Maybe could have put a little bit of yellow in here. Maybe even just the button at the top would have just been a lot better. So for that being said, I'll give it a 3.9 out of 10. It's a pretty solid logo, but it's just kind of boring. For the Padres, I think we saw this one last year. All yellow base hat with the brown logo, the SD. Really do not like the yellow and the brown together in the inverse here. I like it the other way around. For that being said, I'll give it a 1.9 out of 10. Just not really good in my eyes. Seattle, teal hat, dark blue bill with the front logo being the Compass baseball logo. I actually really like this one. I'll give it an 8.7 out of 10. There's really nothing I would change too much. It's just not as much of a favorite as I am compared to some of these other ones, but a really well executed hat. San Francisco, we got an orange base hat, the SF logo on the front in black bill. We've seen this before, I believe. I think it looks all right, though. I'll give it a 6.8 out of 10. St. Louis, we got the bird logo on the bat on an all red hat. I don't know why they don't use this now. I think this hat actually looks really good and it would work in their normal uniforms. So I actually really like this hat, and I think it's going to look really good on field. So I'll give it a 9.2 out of 10. I think it looks really good. I don't know why they don't use it now. The only thing is the logo might be a little difficult to see with the red being on red, but regardless, really good looking hat. Tampa Bay. This is a very controversial one. I'm in the minority of, I do not like it. It's a sky blue crown with the yellow bill and that star logo that they use. I'm not a fan of that logo. I think the colors are too pale. It might be really good when it comes to the hot weather of spring training, but in my eyes, I don't think it looks all that great. I'll give it a 4.1 out of 10. I like that they were innovated. I don't think we've seen this before from Tampa, but it's just kind of in my eyes. Next, we got Texas. It's an all baby blue hat with the white T outlined in red. I like their baby blues, but I like it with the dark blue bill instead. So because of that, I'll give this one a 6.2 out of 10. Not too bad, though. Toronto, we got a white crown with a dark blue backing of the hat and a baby blue bill with the Blue Jays primary logo on the front. A lot of colors here. It seems like a lot are trying to be the primary color. I think you got to go with less colors on the main parts of the hat. So for me, I'll give it a 7.1. I think the colors are pretty cool, but I think I would change the bill hat or color to that dark blue that we see on the back of the hat. But that's just my opinion. And lastly, Washington, it's what looks like to be a black hat or maybe a very dark navy blue. I can't really tell from the pictures too well, but I'm going to go with it's a black hat with a black W outlined in white and red. I think the logo is very boring, but I like the colors from Washington. So if they went with a different logo, maybe something that pops a little bit more, maybe just changing the logo just to be white. I think it'd pop a lot better on this hat. I'll give it a 7.1 out of 10. It's just not executed all that well, but I think it looks like it's going to be pretty solid on field. So those are the new spring training hats, my thoughts and feelings. Let me know what you guys think down below. All right, next up, we got the NFL. We got some head coaching moves, we got some trade announcements, and we got my predictions for Super Bowl. So let's start off with head coaching moves. Pete Carroll goes to Vegas. Mike Vrabel goes to New England. Ben Johnson to Chicago. Liam Cohen to Jacksonville. And Brian Schottenheimer to Dallas. The only head coaching spot open right now is New Orleans. We have still yet to hear a new head coach for that. Some coordinator moves. Robert Saleh goes to the defense of San Francisco, and Chip Kelly goes to the offense of Las Vegas. Myles Garrett announced yesterday that he's requesting a trade out of Cleveland. Not surprised. Cleveland's not good. Myles Garrett is really good. I think another team is going to love having him on the defensive line. He's going to be an outstanding player wherever he goes. And Cooper Kupp was informed by the Rams that he is going to be traded pretty soon with the interest of him and his family in mind, though. Very surprising, especially because Stafford said he is coming back next season. Having Puka, Kupp, and Stafford would have been a great threesome there. But now with Kupp going out, it sounds like it's probably got to be money issues. They probably don't want to spend money on that contract that they made him sign not too long ago. So I guess only time will tell when it comes down to these two players being traded. But I think the Cooper Kupp trade is definitely a big mistake if the Rams end up going through with it. Now my reaction to what I think the Super Bowl is going to be. Well, this Sunday we got Super Bowl Chiefs and Eagles. I think the Chiefs are going to win this game. I think we're going to see 3 straight Super Bowl wins from Kansas City, which is very annoying for pretty much 90% of the fan base of the NFL, because either that 10% you're either a Chiefs fan or you just want to witness history. In my eyes, I think we are going to witness history of a 3-time champion Kansas City Chiefs, which is kind of stinks, especially because we haven't seen somebody new come around. I mean, we've had teams come and go, and the Chiefs seem to always be there. So that's annoying. But my pick for Super Bowl is the Eagles. I am going with Philadelphia there. I think Philly is going to make it tough. I think the Eagles have a weapon in Saquon Barkley, and I think the Eagles do win. Saquon Barkley is going to win NFL Super Bowl MVP, and I think he could win MVP of the regular season as well. So I think Saquon and the Eagles have a great chance to win. Although I think the Chiefs are going to win this game, I will be rooting for, and my official pick are the Philadelphia Eagles.
Hi guys, welcome back. It's February, so you know what that means. It's Super Bowl halftime predictions with Jill. You guys have probably seen me in recent videos, but honestly, we know why we're here. It's for my halftime show predictions. I'm currently 0 for 2 on this podcast, so I hope it's all here, guys. I really hope that I am able to predict at least something correct, because I also haven't predicted the winners correct, because I'll never pick the Chiefs. Little foreshadowing here. Kendrick Lamar is going to be the halftime show performance, and I'm honestly pretty excited for this one. I think that he has some really good songs, but I think he's going to begin with the song. Hold on, I'm looking at my notes. I think that Kendrick Lamar is going to start with the song United in Grief. Hear me out. It's going to start dark, like dark. Like, so the music just starts playing, okay? You don't see anything, you don't see him. And then when it gets to right before he says, I've been going through something, then the lights are gonna appear on him, but not like harsh lighting, like you can see him kind of, but you can't see him too well. That's what I think. I think it's going like that. But I don't think it's the best song after the intro, but I think it has a really good intro to begin, because, you know, he goes, I've been going through something, and then he says his numbers on how long he's been gone, and I think that's, like, really good to start with, because his whole story behind that song. Okay, my second option to what it could possibly be is the song Love, but I think it starts too soon, and then the song itself is too slow to begin with. Like, you gotta open up on not, like, your best popular song, but on a good song to, like, still get people, like, excited about it, you know? Like, you can do the slower songs, put them in the middle, and, like, jazz them up with extra drums and beats and all of that, you know? Because with Love, I like how it starts, damn, pause, love or lust, and then just, damn, all of us. But then it goes into the song, and I'm like, I don't really like song and how that's looking, so I think it's going to be United in Grief. Am I right? I don't know. I put a lot of effort into figuring out what could possibly be the starting songs of all these Super Bowl halftime shows. Usher last year disappointment. Didn't like it. His show was okay. He only played like 2 songs that I wanted out of like everything. It was alright. Not good opening song. Rihanna, it was okay. I don't really know what to say about them. But I have high hopes for this one because I do think he will play Not Like Us. There's no way he does not play Not Like Us. Kendrick just won 5 Grammys for the song Not Like Us, including Song of the Year, Record of the Year, Best Rap Song, Best Rap Performance, and Best Music Video. All for being a hater. That's great. Bro won 5 Grammys for being a hater. And I love it because it is a great song. So you will be hearing that one. But I think it is way too obvious to start off with a song like that. In my opinion, you can't go out with like your most popular song at the moment. Like, you gotta have something for people to look forward to. You know what I mean? I have songs I think that will play, that should play at least. Not the order. I do think he will play Humble. I think he will play DNA. If he doesn't play Love starting, he will play it at some point through. Money Trees, but you know, only the part that people knows, which is like quite a few minutes into the song. I do think he will play All the Stars and bring out SZA, because that is a very popular song, and I don't think it's, I don't know, ridiculous to think that he's not going to bring somebody out, especially someone like SZA, because she's so popular. Like, you gotta help her, you gotta hype her up too, you know? Like, I think All the Stars will play with her. That's a good song. Black Panther, Miles loves the song Pray For Me. Like, and I do not like it. Will it play? Possibly. I'm kind of hoping not, because I just personally cannot stand the song at all. And he loves it. He knows I hate it, so he loves to sing it for me often. Yeah, that's pretty much what I've got. So, like I said, I'm currently 0 for 2 when it comes to the opening songs of Super Bowl halftime performances. And I think this could be my year. I'm not too confident, but I think it has potential. And I think Kendrick will be smart enough to do what I said. I mean, he clearly has already had it planned, but I think I'm going somewhere. I think I'm going somewhere on it. I really do. But 0 for 2 in Super Bowl halftime. Also 0 for 2 in Super Bowl winner predictions. But I will never pick the Chiefs to win, ever. So, fly Eagles fly. And I hope to see all of you next February for my predictions for the next year. Thank you.
All right, we head to Thursday where number 2 Michigan State lost to number 11 Ohio State 4-2. Then we head to Friday where number 16 New Hampshire lost to number 10 Boston University 70-2. Then we had number 14 Quinnipiac beating number 19 Dartmouth in overtime 5-4. Number 8 UMass Lowell getting shut out by number 1 Boston College 4-0. Excuse me. Number 9 UConn tying number 7 Providence 3-3. Penn State beating number 12 Michigan State 5-4. Number 2 Michigan State beating number 11 Ohio State 4-1. Number 18 Wisconsin beating number 4 Minnesota 5-2. St. Thomas beating number 15 Minnesota State 3-2. Number 17 North Dakota tying St. Cloud State 3-3. Omaha tying number 5 Denver 3-3. We had a Saturday where number 7 Providence beat number 9 UConn 6-3. Number 18 Wisconsin lost number 4 Minnesota 4-1. Princeton beat number 19 Dartmouth 3-1. Number 3 Western Michigan lost to Colorado College 3-2. And Omaha lost big to number 5 Denver 11-2. Then we head to the top 20 where Boston College and Michigan State stay put at 1-2. Minnesota gets a +1 to 3. Western Michigan drops 1 to 4. Maine gets a +1 to 5. Denver drops 1 to 6. Providence stays put at 7. Boston University gets a +2 to 8. UMass Lowell drops 1 to 9. UConn also drops 1 to 10. Ohio State stays put at 11. ASU gets a +1 to 12, where Michigan drops 1 to 13. Quinnipiac and Minnesota State stays put at 14-15. North Dakota gets a +1 to 16. August Augustana goes from unranked to 17. UMass drops up 2 to 18. New Hampshire drops 3 to 19. And Wisconsin drops 2 to 20. Dartmouth was the only team to drop out. They were dropped out from 19th. Other receiving votes was Colgate, Colorado College, Sacred Heart, Penn State, Union. All right, let's head to games of the weekend where we have NFL. Obviously, we got the Super Bowl, Chiefs and Eagles Sunday at 3:30 p.m. on Fox. NHL, we got the Ducks versus the Kings Saturday at 7:30 p.m. NBA, I got Thunder versus Grizzlies Saturday at 5 p.m. College softball starts up this weekend. I got number 15 Missouri versus number 8 Duke Saturday at 10 a.m. And college hockey, I got number 6 Denver versus number 12 Arizona State. So for some reason, the ending just did not record very well. Audio is all messed up, so I'm just doing the outro here for you guys. But appreciate you guys making it this far. If you guys made it this far, you guys are on the YouTube. Make sure you guys hit that like, subscribe, that bell icon so you guys are notified when these episodes do drop. If you guys are on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, we appreciate you. But go check out the YouTube channel. There's a lot of exclusive videos that are only YouTube, and you guys want to go check those out big time. So go check out that right now. But make sure you guys have an awesome, safe Super Bowl Sunday, awesome weekend when it comes to sports. So make sure you guys check out some sports. Have an awesome weekend, and we'll see you guys later.